This is from a novel called Wage. It starts out with a quote by Hemingway. In modern war, you will die like a dog for no good reason. Ernest Hemingway. First chapter, peace. Just lately, I've decided war's all around. War between brothers, war between fathers and sons, bosses and workers, between the ones that have and the ones that don't. You walk out your door, go down the sidewalk a ways, won't take you 10 minutes, you'll be right in the middle of somebody's fucking war. Everybody's in a battle, everybody's a soldier, everybody's in training. The only difference is some people know that other people don't. Coming back over as soon as I got off the plane, I heard some lady jabbering on about how we're in a peacetime. Had to cough so I wouldn't laugh in her face. She looked up at me, noticing the uniform, wanted to shake my hand. I obliged her, patted her shoulder and smiled. Then I saw it clear. Here we'd been over there all that time. Nobody could ever get us to us straight why we were there. Now here, especially after they didn't find any weapons, mass, anything, now here this little old lady was, making it plain as day. She and her friend walked off, going on about how good it was to see the boys come home. Watching her go, I knew I'd spent the last 4 fucking years of my life eating sand and taking shit off hydrants. So she and every other pie in the sky American can keep thinking peace is real. You ask any one of the GIs I bunked with, they'd tell it to you. They'd tell you peace ain't nothing more than a word, like make-believe, like fairies or knights in shining armor, all that happily ever after shit little girls like to hear before they go to bed. Peace is something we have to believe in, or I reckon we'd all off ourselves first chance we got. I don't spout my truths to too many people. When my cousin got me this here job working nights at the Galaxy grocery store, I thought it might be the closest thing to peacetime I'll ever see. Floors to be waxed, trash to be empty, bathrooms to be cleaned, boxes to be unloaded. Small, simple things that don't get my nerves going. Nobody bothering me. Delmer's pulling up. He's the main person I've got to talk to. Been a truck driver ever since he could drive. He sees parts of the country that aren't fit to be seen. Spends most of his time in his rig. Calls it Norma. Strange name for an 18-wheeler if you ask me. Ain't never wanted to ask him how he came by it, because I feared it'd be some crazy-ass long story just like all of his stories tend to be. We're both about as socially handicapped as they come. Me, a vet, trying to navigate this here country I'm supposed to love but don't. And him spending most of his time out on the road, pretending his steering wheel's gonna talk back one of these days. Shame he ain't a woman. We'd be a match made in heaven. Macon, you got to act your way into being. Delmer doles out advice as he watches me wax the floor. This is his whole pretend speech. He recites every now and again. Hell, I know it by heart. You ain't never gonna get back any kind of life if you just don't get out there and pretend. Shit, my life's chock full of pretending. I pretend I like working when I'd rather be laid up at home on my couch. I pretend my wife don't look a day past 20. She'll turn 52 next week. You ever fuck a 52-year-old? I keep waxing. Of course you haven't. You're wet behind the ears, but it's sad. That's all I'll tell you. Sad and floppy. Yet pretending. That's all there is to it. Everybody's pretending. You're just going to have to do it more than most. I nod my head, smile polite, and keep on with my work. He paces the floor, smoking, going on about how much of life is fate. Don't seem like any way to live to me. Wonder if that's why he likes driving. Probably the only time you don't have to put on a face or say shit you don't care about. Well, I'll let you get to it, he says, hopping in Norma. Think about what I said now. He backs out, blaring the horn as he goes, not caring a damn thing about being late and all. I wave. I'm sure the neighbors were like this sniping. His taillights get smaller. I go to pull the loading door down real slow. Like I took my foot off last week, pulled it too fast. That'd be something, wouldn't it? Make it through 1,460 days of combat without much more than bruises and scratches, to come back over here and take my fucking foot off of the garage door. God, that'd be a sick joke. Every now and again, my boss comes through, Chris Highsmith. We came up in school together. He went to some technical college, got a managerial degree of some kind, about the same time I enlisted. Didn't even know he was in charge when I applied. Forgot all about his daddy owning the chain. Somehow he got it in his head that I came because he was running it. I'm the veteran charity project. Most nights he's cozy in his manufactured home with his wife, 2.5 kids. Sometimes he gets bored, and that's when he winds up here barking orders. Maybe I'll get lucky. Tonight won't be one of those nights. He's always been an uptight prick, same way as I've always been a loner. I expect there's good and bad to both. Pricks go apeshit so much of the time it ain't noteworthy. Loners usually have a few big incidents in a lifetime, and they're the shots heard around the world.